I think that the energy here is going to have you want to dive deep into meaning and purpose, your natural talents and gifts. And you're also going to go existential, the I am wound, especially for rising. Who am I really? What am I really? And for you, sons, it's about career and purpose and really wanting to dig into purposeful dharmic paths and career over the next 7 years. Moon people may be healing mother wounds, Taurus Sun healing father wounds, these kinds of things.
Lunatic astrology.
Welcome to your July 2026 Taurus Sun, Moon, and Rising sign. You are pregnant with possibilities. Things are opening up. Fertility is ahoy. Larger home, more children in the home. Let's see what happens when Jupiter moves into Leo. Also add that Mars is operating to change your money situation and work for the better. You might notice some big surprises and changes in finances and your work. I like the rare, never seen before, once in a lifetime Barbeau's basket through the whole second half of July, opening up new opportunities in your life and ease, flow, and grace. But this is a rare formation. It comes with a bit of challenge, but it can game change, as I say, your reality. So we're going to break it down, Taurus, for the month ahead. And if you're listening here and you're brand new, welcome to my channel. This month-long forecast by me every month is a part of how I operate as a Western tropical zodiac astrologer. I want you to time your best month. I want you to use this information to navigate life more successfully. And I also teach you how to do that as well. Every year I do Sky Reader. Sky Reader is my yearly introductory to astrology course, 7 weeks long. This year I extended it from 6. We're starting, as we always do, in September. Come join me and learn to read the sky so you can be your own astrologer and you can time your best life. Of course, we're going to learn how to use 2 very simple and effective timing tools after you learn more of the basic language building blocks of astrology. And this is not for those of you who are already intermediate level. This is a beginner's level course. So come join me in Sky Reader. This is a super early bird discount time frame. In the end of July, this price will go up. If you're at all wanting to get in early, then this is your chance. In the information box below the video, and I'll pin to comments information about how to early bird subscribe into this course for September. So guys, I am looking at the Taurans in my life. I've got a lot of you, and I'm going to say some good things for you this month ahead. Before I even show you the sky, before I even give you a picture of it, Jupiter will be angular. Jupiter will be moving into Leo, the 4th house of your chart. That's your Taurus 4th house. You may well just say thank you right now. As soon as Jupiter hits an angle, which are houses 1, 4, 7, and 10, good things happen. The wheel of your fortune spins for the better. Jupiter entered onto the 4th house stage in your whole sign 4th house chart. Please use whole sign houses. He entered there on June 30th. He doesn't leave until summer of 2026. He's there for 27. He's there for 12 whole months. And you're going to benefit greatly. One thing this can mean is more children in the home. And that means that you could have children like making babies, and your children can have children. Extends the children within the realm of the family. So extended family members can have children as well. More kiddos in the home. Prosperity, abundance, expansion, and growth and luck in home, from home. If you work from home, you're going to prosper. If you need a bigger, larger, fancier home, you're going to find it. So this is really a good story. I mean, it always works out that way. I remember when I had a sister had Jupiter moving through Gemini, and her husband's parents passed, and they got the big family, the larger, more better, well, not larger, but the better location, the better home, gave them a better place to live. So you're going to see something good about your home life. Basically, it's guaranteed. We'll talk more about that. Well, let's bring the chart up and show you the sky so you can see what I'm talking about. And we're here for about 30 to 40 minutes max. If I talk quickly, take notes, slow me down on the playback speed. With a little gearbox at the top right at this channel on these YouTube videos. And if you like this kind of content without any ads before the general public, usually a week before, join me on Patreon. All my content is early access, ad-free. And it's, I'm happy to have you meet with me there for up to 4 classes a month or meetings a month. So it's a fun environment over my private community, membership community at Patreon. All right, come on, guys. And I am Lori Lothian, if I didn't say my name. This is Western Tropical Zodiac, if I didn't mention that. Don't forget how to listen to Sun, Moon, and Rising. Moon, emotions, mind, and your sort of mindset, but also your home nest and where you live. And so certainly Taurus moon folk listening, you're going to have Jupiter going over your moon, bigger home, better home, right? Good luck for mom. And Jupiter Sun, Taurus Sun, that's your home, that's your dad, but it's also your purpose and career and your true self. And then the ascendant is your simulation avatar in the game of life. And it's what your body, but also everything that could possibly impact the character in the simulation. It's the actors. It's a role that the actor plays. The actor is your sun and the role is the ascendant. So Taurus, you'll notice that you have a chironic wound also this month. And this is Jupiter's new story for 12 months. He's there with Venus. I'll be talking more about that in a minute. Just know that this is really good for luck, wealth, prosperity in and from the home, especially prosperity if you work from home office people. Wow, you're leveling up financially over the course of the next year. And it could just bring you more prosperity in general. But another meaning here, by the way, for you, Taurus, is legacy wealth, inheritance money, a spousal separation agreement, support money even may emerge for you over the next 12 months, and you should succeed or do well by that. Venus, the Lord of your sign, is waiting as Jupiter enters and saying, welcome and blessing you, baking in a lot of luck, including improvements in your health. So better health as well. Really good for letting go of addictions and, self-undoing. If you are one of those people who can't stop, a certain addictive substance, this can really be a turning point year for you with Jupiter fourth house storylines beginning on June 30th. Now, as we go into the month, you already noticed that Chiron at the third week of June ingressed into your sign. Chiron will be coming back to your sign on and off. He leaves in September, comes back in April. By April of next year, he's there for 7 years. I have 2 videos on this Chiron thing already out for all signs. Please go check out any of them. But I think that the energy here is going to have you want to dive deep into meaning and purpose, your natural talents and gifts. And you're also going to go existential, the I am wound, especially for rising. Who am I really? What am I really? And for you, sons, it's about career and purpose and really wanting to dig into purposeful dharmic paths in career over the next 7 years. Moon people may be healing mother wounds, Taurus sun healing father wounds, these kinds of things. A lot of times when you look at Chiron, you think, ouch, right? The wounded healer, but he also gives you gifts. And the real gift is being in touch with your purpose. So if you felt out of touch with purpose and you always felt like I have a job and it's never been truly me, hang on. He's going to shrine, the house of the talents and gifts you were born to express. And so all said and done, you can retrieve them, especially with the trine to the south node. It's almost like past lives and talents and gifts in past lives return to you. And this is true for the month of July. So let's start with a breakdown day by day, week by week. Mars, of course, is moving into your second house of money. Shock and awe, changes in job and career direction. That's guaranteed. Or financial changes that you weren't seeing. Doesn't have to be bad. It can be a breakthrough moment, as well as just an unexpected change. Let's take it down the rabbit hole of time. Watch out for that Mercury retrograde. Lots of back and forth changing of your mind when it comes to matters of travel, learning, teaching, and siblings. But we'll drop into that story of Mercury retrograde until July 23rd. Yes. Mercury retrograde started, by the way. Oh, I'm having a hot flash. Mercury, it's hot here. Mercury retrograde began, you should know this, Mercury retrograde began on June 29th and ends on July 23rd. But you're in your shadow period, June 12th to August 6th. So it's kind of like all these things going on, June 12th to August 6th. There's a lot of change of mind, right? I'm going to take this course. I'm not going to take this course. I'm going to take this trip. I'm not going to take this trip. Or things connected to siblings in general, and lots of vacillation, flip-flopping this way and that way and this way and that way, especially around travel and siblings both. So there's a lot of uncertainty here in this part of your chart. So let's get started on the beginning of the month. On July 1st, we have a square from Jupiter to Chiron, testing that meaning and purpose wound. From the fourth house, you could have some challenges with someone you live with that seems like it's a wounded event, a wounded moment, because Jupiter's in the house of where you live. And this could also be a wounded moment regarding a relationship to a sibling one older, or even a wounded moment regarding financial matters and shared resources with a spouse. And so there's like a tight little space where you contract around July 1st, and then it's over with within a couple of days. On July the 2nd through to about the 5th or 6th, Mars is going to bump into Uranus. So the first week is pretty intense, I will say that. So around July 3rd, 4th, happy birthday, America, there is an explosive energy. Unfortunately, that can be really bad energy. If you're a U.S. citizen, I would stay home from big parties in public places on July 4th, if you know what I mean. But in your own chart, you are looking at a money shock, surprise, change of direction. Mars can translate the money shock to shocks around money connected to foreign places, foreign people, and international and digital revenue. Money shocks can also occur in Mars's wheelhouse of possibility, connected to shocks around finances and a significant long-term relationship partnership. So money shocks there, shared resource monies, surprises, but bending the nodes of fate, Mars doth bend them, and the bendings here, bending the north node, also a money shock regarding money you make in your career, earnings and gains from your career, money you make connected to a sibling when older. Now, this doesn't have to be negative. It's fated. There's no steering wheel on the roller coaster. Fated financial changes ahoy. And because this all trines up Pluto, right, and Juno, major changes in your work contracts and agreements. It's flowing. You're going to say, yeah, maybe I want to make a wealth change, contract agreement, turning point story when it comes to what job I do and what career path I'm on. And with Venus from the fourth house in a sextile to the sixth, you could have a luscious, new, surprising job upgrade, job opportunity, raise or promotion. Those are options as well. But it does bring a money surprise of some sort, more than likely. The only other option would be a surprise that you have a big cavity or you need some unexpected dental work. All right. Do not do any facial surgery or dental work under this, because I don't like the Uranus Mars together for not having something shockingly surprising go maybe the wrong way. You know what I mean? Like, oh my God, we just drilled into the wrong tooth. You're like, what? Isn't it your job to know where the cavity is? So I would avoid also any surgical procedures to your face at this time. And what is this time? Until Mars leaves Gemini. When does Mars leave Gemini? Well, Mars will be in the sign of Gemini, your second house, which is good for job changes for the entire time of this transit. Mars will be in the sign of Gemini all the way through until June 28th to August 11th. So please avoid dental work or surgical procedures, just because Uranus there could bring a shock or surprise, but it's more intense the first week of July. I'm hearing a spirit in my ear of the dead talking through me to you, Taurus. I don't know who it is, so keep going. I'm going to continue. There's too many of you out there. Could be just for me. The next story I have for you is after we get the shock and awe behind us and under our belt, then we have a light in the sky called the sun. It's highlighting your Cancer sky, which is your house of siblings, and it's squaring Saturn in the house of backroom deals and negotiations, self-undoing addictions, borderless revenue income from international sources. This is a social media house. This is a online website and sales and marketing place. So some of you have a couple of thoughts, a unexpected, difficult outcome regarding a travel opportunity, abroad or local. And you might also have some big changes regarding social media landscape, online world, websites, marketing, selling, teaching, and learning, and some kind of contraction or spotlight on a challenge point here. And because Saturn is ruled by Mars, it may be also connected to money challenges as well, financial contraction, but it maybe connects to the element of third house. And so maybe you can't take the trip, you can't afford it. Maybe your online social media monies are drying up. Something's going a little south here. It's only a day in the life of you. It doesn't last long. Take a deep breath. You might have a challenge here also with a local friend, and it may involve hidden enemies and self-undoing and addictions, and a spotlight on the challenges that could be occurring here. And it's interesting to see that when this is exact, okay, I'll show you what I mean. Here it is pretty well on July the 6th, pretty exact, right? This is the moon that rules this tension, and the moon will be on that day, for some of it, in the house of friendships and groups of belonging, but then moves really fast into the house of addictions. And so keep your eye on where your addictive substance abuse, misuse disorders connected to friends and groups of belonging, if you have any problems like that, are really highlighted, and the sun is shining a light on it for you to say, take a look at this. You need to make a change. July 6th, 5th, 6th, and 7th. We move past that time and we come into the story of Venus. Nope. Trining Chiron. Yes, we do on July the 9th. Now, there's a sea change here in the second week. I can't take it. I opened my window for air and there's a freaking public service drilling under the soil and jackhammering. You guys know I moved, right? I got rid of the sirens at my last place and now there's a construction project on the street below by the city, sewer maintenance. All right, so Venus is sea changing into the sign of her fall, Virgo. She has been in Leo for you for quite a while. June 13th to July the 8th. And when Venus is in Leo, she's like the queen, and she's been supporting pleasure in the home, joy in the home, art in the home, decorations in the home, working from home, beauty in the home, romance in the home, and maybe all of those things, staging and decorating, buying new furniture, who knows? But then this is you in June, right? So this is June 13th to July 8th. And then she goes out and into her fall. Now, it's not the end of the world, but the South Node makes it more difficult. There can be a pullback in your enjoyment, pleasure, and fun, but also difficulties in your relationship to children, romantic and sexual partnerships. And this is kind of like a let go, release, and surrender. You might have had a creative project you were working on and you need to abandon it. There's no way it's going to last, or you realize you got off to a creative false start. And Venus down here, she's also connecting a dot here in your chart to what you need to let go of anyway, because she's your ruler. So it's not necessarily bad. She's not going to do you wrong. So what are you having to release? Now, when I say romantic partner, I don't mean committed long-term live-in. You're dating someone, it isn't right for you. Now, Uranus and the South Node here, maybe about a loss or difficult circumstance in the life of one of your children. If you have children who are, especially adult children, could be going through something sort of difficult, and you just may be observing the challenge of a child rather than it being all that personal. However, because she will also be hooked up to a square to Uranus, there's an unexpected surprise, right? And that Uranus square is going to get more powerful as time goes on. And that could be unexpected pregnancy for your children or for you, okay? Or unexpected financial stories connected to creativity, love, romance, and children. So we're going to draw our attention to that a bit later as the times unfold and we see the big picture. She does trine Chiron, though, and try to soothe the Chironic wound about your body, your appearance, about your identity, about your career. If it's a Taurus Sun, about your home life, or if you're a Taurus Moon, about your father relationship for a Taurus Sun, about your mother relationship for a Taurus Moon, right? And so healing of those relationships as well, because she's trining the Chironic wound in your sign. And so keep that also in mind. And, Venus is the ruler of you, so she will only do you a solid. Nothing about her is trying to cause harm here, even in her fall, even in her debility, so to speak. Venus there, we'll keep talking. She'll stay in your fifth house, by the way. So that keeps accidental pregnancy for you or one of your children well and alive from July the 9th to August the 7th. So please use birth control, for example, or tell your kids to, if that's not something you're thinking is a good idea at this time. But it's fated or destined with the nodal axis. So what can you do? Especially, I'd say, between July the 9th and July the 27th, when the South Node and Venus are together in this sign, there's even more destined, unexpected fertility stories that can emerge. When we continue into the second week of the month, we're going to notice that Mars will reward hard work. Am I on the second week of the month? Well, on July the 10th, I'm losing my mind. No, let's keep going. I missed a beat. So on July the 12th, there's a Mercury in the heart of the sun called a cazimi. Mercury and the sun coming together is news that you couldn't see or couldn't receive. Information or news or understanding comes to you in a flash, a divine download, an insight, but also it resets your life for a bit of time. And Mercury will join the sun from retrogradation in your third house. A flash of insight regarding a sibling, a neighbor, idea, a project you wish to communicate, an insight around some kind of email, phone call, text message coming to you, exchanges through Zoom, even third house stuff. And this is a house of siblings, though. So look for information or insights coming on the cazimi day, the 12th, regarding siblings. And it might be siblings and money matters as well, because, of course, the moon is the ruler of this house in the second house of earnings on the cazimi day itself. And so siblings and money and flashpoints of information or news may be coming your way for sure. A neighbor also could dispense some unexpected news to you. And all of this news could be about siblings and money, but unexpected news from neighbors coming your way about your own money, moon in your second house. After the cazimi, we come into a square from Venus to Uranus. That's your accidental pregnancy marker that I was warning you about. So this is classic, shocking, unexpected pregnancy, We're going to give you a window of the exact scare or news coming through. Information or news could be coming to you about this. Are you unexpectedly pregnant? Is a child unexpectedly pregnant? Is a sibling unexpectedly pregnant? Are their children unexpectedly pregnant? All kinds of possibilities. Epicenter July 13th, probably a day before or two, and a day after July 13th. You're noticing it most acutely. Okay, on July the 14th, we have a new moon. You see it right there at 21 degrees of Cancer. And there's also a retrograde Mercury wedge in the mix. So things from your past are starting again in the house of writing, in the house of communicating, in the house of social media, in the house of selling or marketing, in the house of local friends, childhood friends, and siblings, and also cousins, aunts, and uncles. So all that kind of stuff has a new start and a fresh beginning. I don't know what you're starting fresh here. It can be so many different things. These are often connected to entrepreneurial projects, especially as Mercury rules, by the way, your house of entrepreneurship. So a fresh start, a new beginning, and some entrepreneurial or business endeavor. Okay, new beginnings. But Mercury retrograde says there's a connection to the past. So maybe negotiations or deals about business online or in real life, and the past coming back to the now could be a story I can make from this story. Yeah. But it's also about not just the day of the moon on July 14th. It's about what this means over the course of a whole month after the new moon. New fresh start. Some of you might change, and it lasts for 6 months. Some of you might change your home, change your location. With Jupiter at 0 degrees almost, or 3 degrees of your fourth house, I could see you moving. And Venus rules rentals, and she sextiles the whole thing. So you could be moving. You could be going to rent your own house out, move your home, buy a home, sell a home, change your neighborhood, change your locale, change your city. So there could be fresh starts in where you home yourself. That's the code here. You might want to rent a property, for example, or a new property. This will play out over 6 months, so keep that in mind. But look for information about where you live, changing and fresh starts beginning. And some of these changes of home could connect to your children changing their home, right? So there's that too. One of your kids are going to move and it's like somehow important to you. Maybe they're moving closer to you. Maybe you want to move closer to them. These kinds of stories. So the new moon opens up these new doors of opportunity around the themes I've just mentioned. And it's a Cancer moon in its home kingdom. So it's a powerful and positive moon. It's nothing about this moon that I don't really like. I'm not afraid of this moon, right? Just a Mercury retrograde. It could indicate things from the past having a fresh start here, like an old website you shut down or a project. I'll be doing a deep dive into this moon for all signs. So make sure you like and subscribe so you don't miss that kind of content as I bring it out each month. All right. So then the third week of the month is the big and the last week of the month. So the second half of the month, from the 14th onward, Barbeau's basket is up and running, that rare multi-thousand-year rare formation connected to the 6,000-year conjunction that started off between Saturn and Neptune and the outer planets in a trine. Wow, we're into the beginning of the golden age for humanity. In the meantime, as we get ready for that to finally show up, you get to be in the basket. See the basket? Basket, look, got apples that want to drop in. 8th house apples, 7th house apples, and 6th house apples are more likely to drop easily into your basket, like at a rodeo or something. You throw them in the basket. You're gonna get chunky money. Chunky money drops in. Did you get that chunky money in July? Probably not, but it sets you up for some chunky money stories. And I'd say as long as you have Jupiter in Leo, even when Jupiter will be in Leo for a year, you could come into inheritance monies, okay, or spousal support monies or insurance payouts and stuff like that. You could get into new relationships, committed long-term love. You could have that drop in your basket, business partnerships. You could get into new beginnings or drop bushels of goodness from new jobs and new career paths, right, and better health. Okay, all these are dropping into your basket. And yeah, I say a lot of the lucky stuff that to do with chunks of money, that's Jupiter's story. Those are the likelihood of an inheritance dropping in your basket over the next year. And you also notice that July 7th to the 22nd, this basket is opening up from Jupiter's opposition to Pluto. And it gets stronger as the 14th to the 22nd emerge. And by the time we get to the 22nd, there it is, right? It is really strong at this time. So I will tell you, there's something that you're trying to activate here, something that wants to be lucky and fortunate, powerful and transformative, and it may require agreements and contracts, and it may require foreign lands, foreign people, and foreign shores. It may involve home and property and land and real estate. It may involve legacy wealth and inheritance money, prosperity in and from and about the home. Opposite Pluto, father figures and money and wealth. So again, a death of a father figure wouldn't be outside the bounds of possibility here as this basket is forming, especially because the sun will join Jupiter right after and be a part of the basket. Now we're talking about the potential here for inheritance from father figures in your family of origin, dads, great grandfathers, fathers, take your pick. That basket opens up that possibility here. But it's also not just about the day of the basket, but I would pay attention to July. I would pay attention to July 14th to the end of the month, especially July 23rd to the end of the month for considerations of financial gain from inheritances or from maybe spousal shared resources as well. Career versus home. Jupiter down here likes to make babies. You have some fertility signatures. Would you rather be staying home and taking care of kids or your grandkids instead of having to hustle and be powerful in the top of the sky and make a lot of money? You could be saying yes to that. So you're going to have that tension there in the mid-July to the end of the month. And at the same time, you're going to be also noticing a credible lucky energy. Jupiter sextiles Uranus, lucky financial breaks. End of story. How about some lucky financial breaks, particularly the 19th to the 23rd? What about the fact that you are having Jupiter flow to Neptune, dream come true around matters connected to releasing of addictions and self-undoing, money from people in hospital settings? And, the other triangle is like, okay, the mini trine here is surprising, shocking, but positive, transformative developments with your career path and your money path, leading to dream come true opportunities. From maybe working from home or staying back on the back end of something and doing your own thing. You could open up some entrepreneurial doors under this sky all the way through mid-July to the end of the month as well. In the throes of all of that Barbeau's basket, rare event, on Mars's watch, we have hard work pays off on July the 19th, or form and structure and action are formidably positive. July the 19th is when it's exact. Let's take a look backwards. So Mars is in the money house. Maybe you're working hard, earning money, take passion. Maybe you want to be a self-starter, start your own business. That's definitely possible here. And with the Mars and the fifth house story. But Mars is also with Saturn, and Saturn says, I work hard. Have you been working hard at curtailing an addiction that involves putting something in your mouth or nose? This is where Mars is helping you do that. In fact, for all of those of you who deal with substance abuse and addiction and misuse disorders, or just bad habits with the food choices, go for June 28th to August 11th to make a dent in that problem. And I think that with the hard work and perseverance and constriction of addictive substances, you're making major breakthroughs, and you might feel like you hit a peak of success in all that hard work. Like finally, I've done it. I've been like alcohol free for 3 months or something. It's a real celebratory hard work pays off around the 19th of July. And you'll notice that a couple days before and a day after, you're feeling this momentum from perseverance, discipline, and structure. And you could also discipline and structure your money and your finances as well in new ways. And this would be also another way of looking at it, saving money, counting, but also things you do behind the scenes alone here can have payoff in your finances, or international digital money starts to finally pay off. Alrighty, now we're moving onward to the other stories. What about the next third last part of the month? We're going to talk about like the 22nd to the end of the month. And I like that two things. Well, let me just start in order of events. On July 23rd, the sun will square Chiron, just like on July 1st, when Jupiter squared Chiron. Ultimately, you're facing a Chironic identity wound about being on purpose, about fitting in, about belonging to your career sun, to your home life moon, to your identity rising. And first, Jupiter got you to notice it. He probably blew the wound up and made it larger than life. And now a solar figure activates it, which is males in your life activating a sense of a Chironic wound. But it can be also with the sun exalting your 12th house. It can be the overcoming of a self-undoing worst enemy, self-sabotaging habits, patterns, and addictions, as you've discovered new wisdom and knowledge to help you heal the wound, because the sun exalts the addictions part of your chart. It's really good for ancestral clearing and healing as well, as past life regressions and healing, but you're healing a wound, an existential wound around July 23rd. On July the 24th, some good news is coming your way as Mercury sextiles Venus, right? Venus, Mercury, good news about pregnancy, fertility, or your children, your romantic love and dating life, good news about siblings, good news about, let's make it exact for you, okay? You're gonna feel the good news coming in here around July 23rd, 24th, maybe a bit into the 25th. And good news around winning the money in the lottery. Why not? North Node in the House of Windfalls. Good news around travel plans, leisure getaways, and fun trips with your beloved or friends. So just a feel-good vibe. Social life, Mercury direct, travel plans, enjoyment and pleasure. Siblings, good things happening with siblings, good news for siblings. Maybe a sibling's going to have a child. Maybe a sibling's children are going to have children. Maybe there's good news or travel opportunities that are opening up for romance, leisure, and pleasure and siblings. Good news regarding entrepreneurial endeavors and the online social media landscape. All of these are good news, good events, positive directions. And then the sun will come into more intensely, the 26th to the 29th, into the Barbose basket. So again, what do you want to catch? A mate, a job, chunks of money. What do you want to catch in your basket? This is a very auspicious catchment window, so to speak, and it's anchored by Neptune and Uranus and Saturn, so where the sun exalts. So your dream wish come true. Could you get money from foreign places? Could you get an inheritance from a hospital elder passing? I'm not making like it happy, but it's still money, right? So that's July 26th to 29th. This is not your chart. This is a general bell curve reading, okay? And then at the end of the month, 3 things happen. The nodes change signs, Venus squares Mars, and we have a lunation, and there's a cazimi with Jupiter and Sun. So let's go. What's busy at the end of the month? I might not even remember all of that for every sign, so forgive me. Venus will square Mars for sexy romantic love times, okay? But this is really, yes, romance, sexuality, all of that. But this is also money houses. So there's some sizzling decision-making intensity around financial matters and opportunities, and also maybe money connected to your children. And it can be feeling very intense, like decisions must be made. Or there may be major turning points around travel plans connected to children or siblings, and there's an intense sizzle of having to make decisions about how much money you want to spend in these areas of your life. So when do you have those feelings going on? Yes, you got that really July 29th, a couple of days before and after. July 27th, the nodal axis changes. The nodes of fate move out of your Pisces and your Virgo story, where they have been in the love, romance, sex, and children, and elder sibling and all that stuff, and career gains, and now they move into direct relationship to your career and reputation versus your home life. I'll be doing a deep dive video into that shift of the nodes on July the 27th and talk to you about what it means. I think a lot of you will move your home in the next 18 months, but certainly by next summer. South Node is to release the home. You're in Jupiter to expand it into a larger home, and you're going to have a lot of career and worldly success as well in the next 18 months. And then we're going to talk about the idea, just the idea here, that you have a reset button when the sun joins Jupiter. Jupiter Sun reset, you see it right here, is a year-long story. Reset to a bigger home, a new home, reset to children in the home, reset to prosperity in and from the home. South Node, though, can indicate a also loss of a home or change of the home. So by next midsummer into the end of next year, some of you may definitely be rehoming yourself, okay, or bringing children into the family. And being prosperous from your home, including the money from inheritances and money from spousal support or shared resources or in-laws coming through this channel here. All right. And then lastly, my voice is going. A full moon in Aquarius is occurring, coming off of February 28th, eclipse in Aquarius. New moon eclipse on February 28th wants to eclipse your job, eclipse your reputation, eclipse your work, eclipse your wedding bells. So there was an eclipse in February. At the end of the month, you might say that February 28th, a month before, and up to 3 months after, you saw something like, I want to quit my job wants to quit me, I hate my work, I want to change careers, big changes in your public reputation. And maybe because back at the February 20th, there was a Mars-Uranus square, you might have been also thinking of breaking up with someone, changing your marital status, all of that. And now we have the spotlight back in Aquarius. What that means is you're going to focus on what is trying to continue to occur with a big 6-degree full moon in your 10th house. But Jupiter witnesses it from the 4th and blesses it, protects you. And so a full light in the 10th house tells you what the next move is in your career. And coming off the eclipse, it may want to end or complete your career path and open up something different and new. The full moon up here is on July the 29th, 30th, but it takes about 6 months to give you the full lay of the land. Certainly within the 1 month after the full moon, you should see evidence that like the month of August starts to unfold clear and present possibilities of changes of career. And once Venus enters into your 6th house, which she will do and love you up in the job front, she'll enter in that part of your sky on on August 7th, right? On August 7th, I would predict that August 7th onward from the full moon, you're going to change your job or career or be offered a new job, some of you, or new responsibilities or duties in an existing job or career path. If you're retired, new opportunities to be of service in the greater community and being seen doing so by the world. Okay. So what I got. Don't forget, if you like and subscribe, I will love you back. Don't forget every little click of that finger that you do on my like, subscribe, notification bell, hype button helps the channel grow. And helping the channel grow helps me continue to put this content out for you. And if you like me, then you'll like my classes because I love teaching. I have fun. And sometimes I'm pretty good teacher. So come to my Sky Reader class to be your own astrologer, time your best life. Super discount pricing only happens in July. If you miss this and it's the end of July and you haven't enrolled under that price, I can't help that. It's just the timing is over. I'll see you guys in class. I'll see you guys on Patreon. I'll see you guys on extended members content Mondays here. Check it out. I'll see you guys around. Take care. Have a great July. Lunatic astrology.